Okay, my name is Jessy Switchblade. I'm the vocalist of South African heavy metal band Deadline. We've been around since 2014, played our first show in 2015 and released our first album in 2017. We're an old school heavy metal band. We play a little bit of thrash metal, a little bit of heavy metal, a little bit of hard rock, a little bit of power metal. There's 5 guys in the band. I'm on vocals. We've got 2 guitarists, The Sculprit as well as Judgmental, a bassist called Damien Dread, and on the drums we've got Righteous Mike. When we started with the band, we all wanted to have stage names, kind of like, you know, when we started, we weren't sure whether we were going to be a heavy metal band or a glam rock band or hard rock band, and we wanted to do something different. South Africa had a lot of old school death metal bands, a lot of deathcore bands, a lot of the heavier stuff, and we were actually the first band in ages playing an older sound, so we wanted to bring sort of the danger and the sexiness of the 80s back. And so we decided to do some stage names. My specific one, Jessy Switchblade, I wanted it to be sexy yet dangerous. And I wanted to emulate what a lot of those 80s musicians did, you know, with girl names as their first names, like Tracy Guns, Nikki Six. And I thought at the time, who's the most dangerous girl I know? It was my ex-girlfriend, Jessica. So I thought Jessy for short, so Jessy, and obviously the Switchblade speaks for itself. And at the time, we were Raven Chaos, Dizzy Sticks, Baz Steel, and I was Jessy Switchblade. It just kind of worked out nicely. It had the danger and the sexiness of the 80s. The video or the first single that we're releasing is going to be released on Friday the 13th of January. It's called Cult of Prometheus. It signals a change in sound for us. We've got a different rhythm section, so we're a little bit heavier on this album. We're a little bit thrashier, and you'll hear it in Cult of Prometheus. It's a full-blown thrash metal song, but it's got a lot of the melodic metal elements that we've become accustomed to, or that our fans have become accustomed to from Deadline. The song itself is dedicated to free thinkers. It's basically about the story of Prometheus, who stole the fire from the gods. And we've used it in a modern day context about people that are free thinkers, that are stand up for what they believe in, that are willing to look further for the truth. We shot the video in our drummer's studio with a black screen at the back, and it's a very simple video, but I think it brings forward the power and the intensity of the song and the point we're trying to get through. I mean, every musician should say this, but it's by far our best work to date. But I truly believe it, and I think our fans and people that are into the band or are going to get into the band for the first time, I think they'll be pleasantly surprised. So we wanted to do something similar to Iron Maiden. We all, you know, when we started the band, 2 of the biggest influences were Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and we wanted to have like our own Eddie. And we thought, let's do. We had a whole story which the albums are based on, which is about a character called Lady Blitzkrieg, who is the unofficial 6th member of the band, and we fired her, and the whole Deadline story is she returns to the city to extract revenge on Deadline and kill us all. So in album one's called Black Wolf City. It shows Lady Blitzkrieg returning to the city. If you bought a copy of the CD, inside inside the sleeve, we tell the story of her returning to this fictitious city called San Lombardo to extract revenge on Deadline and kill us. In album number 2, it's called Cathedral Point. We the band, we run away into Cathedral Point, and she comes to extract revenge on us. So all our merch is based on that. And now on number 3, basically now she's burst into the cathedral, and she's slowly trying to kill Deadline. So you'll see the album artwork, or the single artwork for Cult of Prometheus. You'll see we've again zeroed in on the Prometheus story, where after he got punished by the gods, he gets tied to a rock and an eagle comes to eat his liver, and he relives his Groundhog Day. So the cover's got Lady Blitzkrieg strapped to the church steeple, you know, with her machete fending off this eagle. We're going to continue it forward with the monuments Just a sneak peek into the cover of Monuments. We 3 of our old members, Raven Chaos, Dizzy Sticks, and Baz Steel, she kills them. So she now is slowly infiltrated and starts to kill Deadline. So the story is going to go through with the album or the single cover for number 3 as well as number 4 and the album release. So there's going to be a bit of continuity, but all our singles, all our covers, everything, she does feature on it, very much like Eddie, and she's basically become our mascot, and she's going to be there until we basically hang our boots. Our biggest influences, and I suppose starting out, we Iron Maiden and Judas Priest specifically. There's a lot of Judas Priest type riffage in the first album. I suppose other influences at the time were Dio, except Metallica. We just weren't as heavy. As we've progressed, we've obviously we grew up on a healthy diet of thrash, death, old school death, thrash metal, power metal, etc. So on the second album, there's a little bit more power metal and thrash metal influences. On this specific album, there's a hell of a lot of Megadeth, a hell of a lot of Metallica, a hell of a lot of Iron Maiden, some Rammstein, believe it or not. Priest is also their Testament, a lot of Testament as well, and you can hear a little bit of Slayer as well. So I suppose, look, throughout, like I said, when we first started off, we didn't know whether we were going to be a biker rock band, hard rock band, glam rock, whatever it is. So you could hear the Motley Crue, you could hear the AC/DC, you could hear the Accept. Album 2, we got faster, heavier. You can hear the Dragon Force, you can hear the Maiden, and in this one you can most definitely hear the thrash metal, the Megadeth, the Metallica. We don't go heavier than that though. Perhaps our 4th album will do a little bit of death metal, but I can't growl. I suppose, for a bunch of guys that when we started this band, the whole aim was just to teach Baz Steel how to play the bass guitar. I didn't think we would do more than just play a few live shows, and a year later we were releasing merch and months later singles. So I suppose our main career highlight was recording an album. When I started this, I was already in my sort of middle 30s, and I never expected it to have gained this type of traction. Like I said, it was a part-time project, so one of the highlights was definitely just releasing the debut album. I suppose some of the other highlights would be just knowing that there's people all over the world that have our CD, that they've been streaming us. We've sold merch to people in the Netherlands, Hungary, Ireland, England, America, Brazil, Canada, New Zealand, Portugal, so France. So it means a hell of a lot to me. It's a massive highlight. You go from having a day job, wearing a suit and tie, to be able to have people, it's just amazing. I think these guys are playing Creeping Death here on the side. And I suppose the third one was playing in Botswana. We played a few gigs there, and it was so humbling to see how big the scene is there, with little money. We played in these church halls, and people, it was incredible that we were able to bring heavy metal to a country like Botswana. That's a little bit hard. Obviously, the product is quite close to me. Off our first album, I would say my favorite is Break the Silence, song written by myself and Raven. And it's a song written against child abuse, against abuse of all sorts, I suppose, in a time where so many so many cases of abuse and against women and children. It's such a modern day thing. We stand very strongly against that. So obviously when we play that song, it means a hell of a lot to me. I have a chain I use on stage, a 2-meter long chain that I flip around. You'll see on our social media pictures. It's called Slobodan. That's basically the chain of redemption. It's a metaphor for, if you know of any abuse that's going on, grab the bull by the horns and fucking chain those fuckers up. Off the second album, I suppose High Tops and Bullet Belts, written by myself and Sculprit. It's kind of like a superhero sort of man of war kind of call to arms, about wearing high tops and bullet belts, and just about celebrating metal, but not in a gatekeeper kind of way, but just celebrating the beauty of metal with the cheesiness that is heavy metal, and kind of the idea, the concept we had was to do like a heavy metal superheroes, and Love playing that song live. In fact, Break the Silence, we often start the show with Break the Silence and we go straight into High Tops and Bullet Belts, and it just works. But off the new album, I must say there's a few tracks which I think are going to be our best. First single, Cult of Prometheus. The second single, Monuments. Looking really forward to that. And I suppose I can go on for days on this, but we always end our show with a song called Dark Divination. It kicks ass live. So as far as live tunes are concerned, that's definitely one of my faves. But yeah, Break the Silence, High Tops and Bullet Belts, Dark Divination, and everything that we've got coming up. I'm so excited. Next, look, 2023 is going to be a great year for us. I have no doubt. Like I said, we're releasing. These birds are making a lot of noise. Welcome to I was going to say sunny South Africa, but there's no sun, but wild South Africa. We're releasing a bunch of singles. On the 13th of Jan, we're releasing Cult of Prometheus. Then on the 17th of Feb, we're releasing Monuments. That hasn't been divulged yet, but I love giving exclusives on these interviews. Then we're releasing single number 3 in March, single number 4 in April, and the album drops in May. First gig is coming up end of Feb. We're playing at a place in Johannesburg called Rumours Rock City. A festival called Metal Feast, and then a week later we're playing at Railways in Pretoria, and then we're going to do a whole bunch. We may have 1 or 2 international acts coming to our shores during the year, which we're going to open for, and then we want to try to take the new songs to as many cities as possible, try to do a bit of Africa, Mozambique, maybe Botswana again, and see if we can take these shows to some stages in Europe. We were going to play Brazil and Argentina just before COVID, but then lockdown happened, and again, being a part-time project, we thought let's put everything on ice, and let's finish the third album, which has taken us forever, and then we can tour it a bit. As far as finding us on social media is concerned, on Facebook we are Deadline HMC. The HMC stands for Heavy Metal Crew, and then we're on Instagram, Deadline Metal. I think we've canned our Twitter for now, and then you can find us on Bandcamp and on YouTube. Well, I'd like to give a huge shout out to all our past band members. Thanks for being part of the journey. We've got a whole new band now. Righteous Mike on drums is new. He's actually our producer. So looking forward to seeing what he can do on the new album. Damien Dredd on the bass is our new bass as well. He's already been with us since the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. But shout out to all the past members, to the current members, to all our fans, our dedicated fan base, the DLHMC. We have such beautiful things in store for you this year. And then a shout out to all the promoters, managers, to everyone that photographers, video editors, etc. Looking forward to giving you guys headaches and giving you guys some beautiful content. 2023's got some great stuff that lies ahead, and we just looking forward to kicking ass on the road. See you guys on the road. Stay fucking heavy, and thank you for having us, World of Metal. I understand you guys are from Portugal. Eu também sou português nascido em Pretoria, na África do Sul. Stay heavy. Thank you very much. Can't wait.